Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the Savage Performance YouTube channel. Today we are going to be having some fun with this S6 again. This is kind of one of the last things on the list, and that is to make it make more noise. These 4OTs, obviously it's a V8, so they sound good with a little bit of an exhaust. And this probably is my favorite budget sound upgrade for these cars, and that is a simple rear muffler delete. Kind of gets you two things. You can get a little nicer, bigger tips on it, as well as getting some more sound. I've had probably every variation of custom exhaust on the 4OT. I've had everything from just downpipes, like aftermarket catted downpipes, to downpipes with an X pipe, center resonator deleted, rear muffler delete, as well as a completely straight pipe with nothing on it. And I think all around, the rear muffler delete with downpipes and the stock sender resonator is my favorite setup. You get pretty decent sound. When you're on it hard, you really hear the V8, but you don't get a lot of rasp or drone in the cabin. When you're cruising, you pretty much don't hear anything. Just a very slight rumble, especially if you have the cylinder on demand turned off. Pretty much if you have that turned on, you will hear the little pop when it goes from the 4-cylinder mode to the 8-cylinder mode, and vice versa. So anyway, let's get to this. What we've got here is just some, I believe these are 3.5-inch staggered angle cut tips, just stainless steel, and then we got some stainless steel piping here. So what we're going to be doing is simply cutting the pipes right here. We're going to try to cut them back far enough that if we ever want to put these back on, it'll just be a matter of taking the pipes back on and throwing the muffler back on, welding it, or sleeve clamping it back together. So let's kind of hold one of these up for a size comparison. You can kind of see that should give us much more of an aggressive look. Kind of round it out. Definitely like the look of this on these cars. So I'll get you on the tripod where we can kind of get to work. I'm going to start by cutting these off, getting some measurements, and starting to get some welding done. Hopefully we can get this car making a little bit more sound. Maybe before we do that, I'll just kind of give you a walk up the car, kind of show you what the current setup is on here. All right, so currently the whole catback is completely stock. We will be keeping this on the car. It's your center resonator. And then when we come up here, here's kind of what we got going on this car. We have got some custom high flow cats on there. These are in place of the factory front resonators. Just simply cut them out and weld it in these high flow cats. From there, it goes up, and we probably won't be able to see it because all the shields are on, but we have some catless 3-inch downpipe. So basically we move the cats from right up top to down here. Kind of help with the heat as well as pick up some flow. So that is the setup on this car. Now we are going to make some noise. Alright, so we have got the old muffler removed. I've kind of got a general mock-up pipe here that I'm hoping is going to get us close. So one thing with doing these tips, it is incredibly, or I should say it's way more difficult than it looks to get everything lined up. There's so many variable angles and ways to do this. You've got the curve of the body, you've got the stagger of your tips. You got the up and down tilt, all this stuff going on, that it can be really difficult to actually settle on what is straight and what looks good. So we're gonna kind of just hold it up, kind of get some marks, kind of where I think is going to be good. Then I'll temporarily tack it up, I'm gonna get it on the car and then lower the car and kind of see if our angles are right. Because ultimately it's what's gonna look good from the back of the car, from the top of the car once it's on the ground. And I should have about 3 arms and hands right about now. Okay, so I'm just gonna start there. Gonna go tack that up and just kind of get a rough idea, see if that's gonna get us close enough. All right, so we have got some temporary tack welds on this tip, holding that on. This is just slid on. So we're gonna lower the car, kind of get a visual from the top, figure out if we need to change anything, and then we will move on to actually welding this on. And then this back here is just gonna have a sleeve clamp so that it's easy to remove in case we, or the customer decides he wants to go back to a muffler. So let's drop this car down and see what it looks like from the top. All right, let's check this out. So we can kind of see how it sits with the body line. So we come up flush with the bumper. We're obviously gonna have to pull that up. It'll kind of get pulled out once we put the hanger on and send it up. So we're gonna just kind of push it up to make sure that we're sitting level. So yeah, we're sitting nice and level. We'll probably have a nice little gap about like that when it's all hung. Our side gaps look good. So I think we actually got this one pretty good. We can just kind of imagine it about right there. Here's kind of the angle you see it at walking up to the car. The stagger of these tips is actually very nice for the curve of the bumper. So I think we're gonna call that good. We're gonna weld it up and then get the final mounting done. There we go. So no, I am not a professional welder, but I do enjoy it and I can get the job done. I'm gonna let that cool off while I work on the next side, and then we will get the hanger put on and move on to a sound clip. Can't wait to hear what it sounds like. All right, cold start of the new setup. Here we got just the normal idle. Give it a few little revs. All right, so we're gonna try out the tune, see what the exhaust is all about. Been working on the tuning a little bit. This is currently where pops and bangs are at.